Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Education Valley from AI Teacher Institute participant. Let's have a talk with Sesame today, and the topic of the conversation is understanding of psychology of motivation. So let's have a talk with Maya.
Yo, what's been on your mind lately?
Yes, Maya. Today I have a topic that is understanding the psychology of motivation. For this, my first question is, what does motivation really mean in psychology?
Good one. In psychology, motivation's basically what gets us going, the processes that initiate, direct, and sustain behavior. It's not just about wanting something, but the why behind it. There's a whole bunch of theories from basic drives like hunger to more complex stuff like self actualization. What specifically about motivation are you hoping to unpack?
I'm talking about the journal motivation, psychology of motivation. Okay, now my second question is, what are the two main types of motivation?
Gotcha. Generally, psychologists break motivation down into two main types: intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic is doing something because it's personally rewarding, you enjoy it for its own sake. Extrinsic is doing something for an external reward, like a good grade or a bonus. Which do you think is more powerful, generally speaking, and why?
I
I'm
think
curious what your
intrinsic motivation is more important than extrinsic motivation, to my point of view.
fair.
Okay,
A lot of people feel that way, and there's good reason for it. Intrinsic motivation tends to lead to more sustained effort and better learning because you're genuinely engaged. Extrinsic rewards can be useful, but they can also undermine intrinsic motivation if overdone. Like if a kid starts reading only for prizes, not because they enjoy the stories.
that's true.
How do you
Can you give an example of intrinsic motivation?
totally think about someone who loves to paint, even if they aren't selling their art or taking classes? They do it because it's enjoyable and fulfilling for them. Or a kid building a complex Lego structure just for the challenge and satisfaction of completing it. It's about the inherent pleasure in the activity itself,
And
not in any external reward.
and
Does
what
that
about extrinsic motivation?
extrinsic motivation is pretty straightforward. Like studying for a test to get a good grade, working to earn a paycheck, or cleaning your room to avoid getting grounded. It's driven by outside factors, things you gain or avoid. Does that make sense, or do you want another example?
No, it's okay. That's fine. Okay, why is motivation so important in our daily lives?
No. Without motivation, honestly, not much gets done. It impacts everything from waking up in the morning to pursuing long term goals, fuels our productivity, influences our choices, and plays a big role in our overall well being. So it drives us to overcome obstacles and keeps us moving forward. What about in your line of work? How big a role does motivation play with your students at the Trading Institute?
Uh, okay, can you tell me what happens when someone less loses motivation?
Good question. When someone loses motivation, a few things can happen. Often it starts with a drop in energy and enthusiasm. Procrastination kicks in, and things that used to feel manageable suddenly seem overwhelming. It can also lead to feelings of helplessness or hopelessness and even impact someone's mood and self esteem. Basically, it's a downward spiral if you let it. Have you noticed that pattern with any of your students, perhaps?
Not yet now. Can you tell me what psychology factors influence motivation?
Okay, that's a bigger question, but we can hit the highlights. Few key factors: self efficacy, that's believing in your ability to succeed, expectancy, you think effort will actually lead to results. And then there's goal setting, which needs to be realistic and challenging. Also, things like your values, needs, and interests play a massive role. Plus, environmental factors, yeah, a supportive atmosphere makes a huge difference. Are any of those jumping out at you as being particularly relevant to your work?
Okay. So, can you tell me how does goal setting impact motivation?
Goal setting's huge. See, vague goals like do better don't really move the needle, but specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, smart goals create a roadmap and give you a sense of progress. Breaking bigger goals into smaller steps helps maintain motivation too, because you get those little wins along the way. It's like seeing yourself make progress fuels you to keep going. Does that track?
Yes,
Do
it
you use SMART
does.
goals?
Yes, I do. What is the reward system in our brain?
Right. Okay. So the reward system is mainly centered around a few key brain structures, particularly the ventral tegmental area, the nucleus accumbens, and the prefrontal cortex. Basically, when we do something pleasurable or even something that gets us closer to a goal, these areas release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that creates feelings of satisfaction and reinforces that behavior. It's what makes us want to repeat things that feel good. Kind of
That's
primitive,
true.
but
That's true.
it really is. It's the same system that's hijacked by things like addictive behaviors, too, but in a healthy way. It's what drives us to learn and grow.
Okay.
So,
My next question
how
is,
does
why do some people stay motivated longer than others?
that's a good one. It's complex. A big part of it comes down to mindset. People with a growth mindset, believing abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, tend to be more resilient when facing challenges. Also, having a strong sense of purpose helps, as does a solid support system. Temperament and personality also play a role. Some people are just naturally more persistent. How about you? Do you feel like you generally stay motivated, or do you have strategies to keep yourself going?
I do strategies to give me going. And what is the difference between discipline and motivation?
Ah, excellent question. This is a big one. Motivation is that initial spark, that feeling of wanting to do something. Discipline though is what keeps you going when that spark fades. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is habitual. You can be motivated one day, but discipline is showing up and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's about building systems and routines. Do you ever find yourself relying more on discipline than motivation?
Mm, not so far. Can negative emotions never motivate us?
That's a really insightful question. And no, they absolutely can. Well, we often talk about positive motivation, negative emotions like fear, anger, or guilt can be incredibly powerful drivers. For example, someone might be motivated to study hard to avoid failing a class or to work hard to prove someone wrong. It's not necessarily the healthiest form of motivation, but it's definitely effective for some people. But it can be a slippery slope, don't you think?
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Can motivation be taught or trained?
Definitely. It's not something you're just born with. You can actively cultivate motivation by things like setting achievable goals, building self efficacy through small wins, finding your why, that deep down purpose, and practicing self compassion. Also, learning techniques like mindfulness can help regulate emotions and stay focused. And frankly, being around other motivated people is contagious. You're doing a lot of that in the training institute, right? It's like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets.
That's very true. Now, my last question is, what's one golden rule for keeping motivation alive?
If I had to pick just one, I'd say celebrate small wins. Seriously, and acknowledge your progress, no matter how small. reinforces positive feelings and keeps you momentum going. It's easy to get caught up in the big picture, but those little acknowledgments are key. And it's not about grand gestures, just noticing and appreciating your effort. That's my take anyway. What's
Okay.
one thing you're going to celebrate this week?
Mm,
Oh, all right.
I'm going to celebrate my son's birthday this week.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a great thing to celebrate. Happy early birthday to him.
Thank you.
That
Okay, Maya. Nice to talk to you today. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.
Oh, all right. Have a good one. It was good chatting with you too. Bye.
Thank you everyone for watching this Sesame Talk with Maya. See you next time. Take care. Allah Hafiz.